Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Polka Dan here. In today's video, we're going to go over why Paradox Rift is going to absolutely kick Obsidian Flames' ass. Seriously, though, before we do that, check this out real quick. Look at that thumbnail. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this thumbnail. Alright, sorry, bring me back. Alright, guys. So look, before we get into this video, I just want to say, okay, look, I took 2 weeks off from YouTubing, and the reason I took 2 weeks, 3 weeks off, I don't know, I took a little bit of a break, and the reason I took a break is because I recently hit 500 subscribers, and the thing is, I just started YouTubing a few months ago, and I always said if I hit 500 subs, I'm going to take that as like a little bit of a sign to like actually try a little harder. Buy some stuff, things like this is new, that is new, all this setup. Before this video, everything was on an iPhone, shot on an iPhone, edited on an iPhone, uploaded. It is bad. It is really bad. but now, you know, we're doing it right. Okay. So anyway, now that we're doing it right, I got a pretty cool little video put together about why Paradox Rift. So I don't even know what's in Paradox Rift other than a couple of the sneak peek cards that they've shown. Like I've seen the Garchomp. Like I guess the Tyranitar just got revealed like yesterday. So I don't even have the Tyranitar in this video. I wish I did because it's freaking awesome. But yeah, so we're gonna go over why, without even really knowing like what's in the set. It's pretty much a done deal. I can pretty much guarantee you Paradox Rift is gonna be a way better set than Obsidian Lames. And to be honest, Obsidian Lames, in my opinion, like, might be the worst set Pokemon companies made since like Pokemon Go. Yeah. Like Rebel Clash is pretty bad. You know, Sword and Shield base isn't too great. I guess Steam Siege, it's never really highly. Yeah. Pokemon Go is pretty bad. Like really bad. So anyway, we're gonna go over why Obsidian Flame sucks more or less, and why Paradox Rift, I can guarantee you, is gonna be essentially 3 times better. I guess mathematically 3 times better. But anyway, all right. So why Paradox Rift will destroy Obsidian Flames. This video isn't just gonna go over why why Paradox Rift will be better than Obsidian Flames. We're gonna also kind of go over how you can apply this scenario that's been going on for Scarlet and Violet into pretty much the whole Scarlet and Violet era. The way it's set up, it is just very different from Sword and Shield, and we're going to go over exactly why and how it's different from Sword and Shield, and basically just, this is a big deal, the single biggest thing that you could like use when deciding if you should go all in on a set, or maybe not, maybe just, you know, maybe I'll just save on this set and wait for an upcoming set. Because now with Pokemon, you got like 4 mainline sets, you got multiple side sets, you got so much crap coming out every other month. It'd probably be a good thing to know ahead of time if the set's going to be, you know, holding long-term value, the kind of set that all you crazy sealed investors, whether, oh, you should buy a booster box if it's under 100 or under 100, like, use this as your main reasoning for investing in Scarlet and Violet sealed products, and then also know that these same sets will probably have the most abundant singles that'll hold value like moving forward. Okay, so it all began with Scarlet and Violet. Technically, I think this big change happened with Crown Zenith, but Crown Zenith is a specialty set, so you don't have booster boxes, so you can't like open a ton of booster boxes and then figure this stuff out. But definitely started with Scarlet and Violet. Set size matters, y'all. So the size of the set, that's the main focus we're going to be talking about this entire video, is the size of the set. Why does that matter so much? Why does it have such a huge impact on Scarlet and Violet era cards that are coming out right now as we speak? And the quicker you learn this, the more you're going to save money, and you're going to intelligently spend your money between all the different sets that are coming out. So what else does that say over there? It says quantity of hits per rarity tier matters a lot. So what do I mean by that? Illustration rares. How many illustration rares are in that set? So Okay, we can talk about its rarity. How rare that type of that tier hit is one thing, but how many of that, how many hits are in that tier rarity? That's a huge factor in determining long-term, like, you know, value in some of these hits. If you're a single collector like me, like I'm not a sealed guy, I'm into buying, selling, flipping, grading, collecting singles. It's good to know these things, like, big time, because these bigger sets are gonna have the most abundant singles with cards with over 10, 15, 20, some cases $60, $80. Okay, so we're gonna go over all that. And then Sword and Shield versus Scarlet and Violet, so the previous era versus now this era, comparing the two, what's the difference, why am I making this video, what changed, yada yada. But long story short, we're going to keep it simple, because I'm going to keep this video under 20 if I can. Sword and Shield had astronomically difficult individual pulls. Like, guys, Moonbreon, super duper hard, right? Moonbreon's not even close to the most difficult Sword and Shield card to pull. There are so many other cards. Like, for example, Lost Origin, Giratina Secret Rare, Gold Secret Rare. That's like a 1 in 3,000 type of pack pull pack, whatever. So Rainbow Secret Rares, Alt Arts, obviously everybody knows about the Alt Arts. Exceptionally, so astronomically difficult to pull that people literally refer to them as just impossible pulls. Does that exist in Scarlet and Violet? Absolutely not. Of course it doesn't. Scarlet and Violet has this different thing going on that is a lot more streamlined, a lot more simple, a lot more just, it's a lot less complicated. Let's put it that way. It's a lot less complicated with Scarlet and Violet sets. So Scarlet and Violet sets have equally, amongst each other, equally improbable pulls. So when we say improbable, we're referring to the special illustration rares like a Miriam or an Iono or whatever, okay? So they are not by any means astronomically difficult. They are improbable. And amongst the others of that same rarity within that set, they are equally difficult pulls. So let's use Paldea, for example. Say the Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved. Your chances of pulling that are just as easy as Farigiraf, or just as hard, however you want to look at it. So they're the same rarity. They're saying about 1 in 7 packs, about 12% chance of pulling an IR. And by the way, that is the exact same, approximately the exact same for Sword and Shield trainer galleries. About 1 in 7 packs, about 12% chance. Okay, so now if both of those are the same, we're gonna look into how is this panned out value-wise, and right now we're gonna compare Sword and Shield's trainer gallery versus Scarlet and Violet's illustration rares, and just this little thing we're gonna do right now is gonna really kind of buffer the grand point of this video that we're gonna get to at the end, which is why Paradox Rift is going to kick Obsidian Flames' ass. So, who do we got on the board here? We got Starmie V. Alright. We got Misty V is what it really is. Let's be honest. It's a Misty V with the Starmie. We don't even know if that's a real Starmie. That could be an inflatable Starmie. It doesn't even matter. Alright, so this is Astral Radiance, obviously Starmie V trainer gallery. This is by far the most expensive trainer gallery in Sword and Shield. Not only that, you'll notice it's a V, it's a black border textured V trainer gallery. So that means, I'm just saying, overall, the trainer galleries, because things are more complicated in Sword and Shield, overall, your chances of pulling a trainer gallery are 1 in 7 packs, or 12%, whatever. But those yellow border Vs, way easier than these ones with textures, like the Vs and the VMAXs, okay? So that even gives more reason as to why Starmie V should be worth 45 or 50, you know, whatever, even more money. So I'm just saying, this card right here is the #1 most expensive trainer gallery card, and it is just a perfect representation of the subset that is a much easier pull, that, you know, subsidize the hits in blah blah blah. Sword and Shield, word vomit. Alright, but now let's compare this to Scarlet and Violet's #1 illustration rare. Same thing. 1 in 7 packs, about a 12% chance. Oh, look at that. It's Magikarp. So, Magikarp. Ungraded 64, PSA 10, 485. One recently sold for 550. Now, why the heck is the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved the set that no one was really excited about? I feel like I was the only person. But like, so this set comes out, and then comes out right as a time where all these local game stores and people are talking about how you can't make any money on sealed product, you're selling at a loss, yada yada yada. Plus you had the new era. Scarlet and Violet came out flat. Paldea follows it up, and it's like, ooh, Iono, okay, whatever, that's it. And then, and then here we are a few months later, and still no one cares. The packs are $320, $350 if you look, figure out where to get them. And then, but then look, $64, PSA 10, $485. How is that even possible? The Starmie V from Astral Radiance is only, what was it? 178 in a PSA 10? How is it possible that the Magikarp from a set no one cares about, that everyone's like, on, is going for that much money? That's $500 is a lot of freaking money for a card that is a 1 in 7. Like, your chances of pulling this card is the same with anything. A little $3 illustration rare. There ain't no secret sauce keeping you from pulling this thing, except for math. And that's the whole point of this video, and that is why it actually does make perfect sense. Guys, look at me. The fact that the Magikarp is worth $20 more raw than everyone's favorite trainer gallery from everyone's most, modern favorite, whatever, Sword and Shield, it does make sense. And we're going to absolutely break down why. Okay? So, oops, I made myself disappear. That's the wrong arrow button. So, Paldea Evolved, we're going to look into the set that Magikarp comes out of. Now, look on the screen here. You see holo rares, you see illustration rares, you see secret illustration rares, and hyper rares. Now, obviously, I left out double rares and ultra rares. A double rare is just a regular EX card, and ultra rare is like a full art or a terrestrialized full art or a trainer card. So I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm like really trying to keep it simple here. So we're just gonna stick. And look, and the only reason I'm even putting, okay, look at this. Nobody cares about holo rares, but at the end of this little video, I'm gonna get to a reason why I put the holo rares on there, and I think you'll understand why, and we'll get to that. Okay, so Paldea Evolved comes out, right? And it has a $60 Magikarp. It's got like a $25 Tyranitar, a $22 Raichu, and all of those are going for like $200 plus in a PSA 10. Okay, and then meanwhile, you can get this booster box. I didn't even bring up Iono. I didn't bring up some of the other full art EXs that are going for over 100. Anyway, I'm just saying there's a lot of good stuff in this set, but why? Why is Paldea Evolved such a good set? Why does no one care about Paldea Evolved even though it's such a good set? All you gotta do is look. Maybe after watching this video, some of you will be like, oh wow, Paldea Evolved really does have a bunch of really, really nice hits. Maybe I should go, second chance some of that Paldea while it's still super cheap. Yes, you should. Crown Zenith too. Alright, so anyway. Illustration rares, 36. Please, guys, pay attention to these numbers. 36. Secret illustration rares. 15. Hyper rares, the gold cards. 9. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Here's the Scarlet and Violet base set, the one right before. Okay. 21 holo rares. 24 illustration rares. 10 secret illustration rares. 6 hyper rares. Okay, so what I see there is 2/3 the amount of illustration rares, 2/3 the amount of secret illustration rares, 2/3 the amount of hyper rares, literally. So let's see, 36, 15, and 9, 24, 10, and 6. It's literally 2/3 of the set size. Okay, so just keep that in note that they had some math that is like literally a third, okay? So now, here it is. This is that set that I said is like Pokemon Go-esque. Like Darkness Ablogo. I'm just trying to put like Darkness Blaze and Pokemon Go together because it's Charizard. Alright, So, Obsidian Flames, whole 10 holo rares. 10. 10. 10. I know that doesn't matter because no one cares, but 10. Illustration rares, 12. So 1/3 is 1/3 as many illustration rares as Paldea. And 2/3 as much as base set. Secret illustration rares, 6. Okay. Hyper rares, 3. 3 gold cards. Why? What? 3 gold cards. 1, 2, 3. And one of them's the Charizard. I don't know. Sorry. And one of them's that had to be the Fire Energy, because you have to have a basic gold secret rare energy card. And it's the Charizard set, so of course you had to have, the energy in there. Alright, so, and then here we are, Paradox Rift. Alright, Paradox Rift. We don't know how many holo rares. We do know there's 34 illustration rares. And we know there's 15 secret illustration rares and 7 hyper rares. So let's go back to Paldea real quick. We had 36, 15, and 9. 9. And now we have 34, 15, and 7. So the same amount, the literal same amount of secret illustration rares and 2 less illustration rares. And I think that's only because 2 of the illustration rares are going to be in some promotional products. And then 2 less hyper rares. Okay, well, it's fine. So that's essentially the exact same size set as Paldea Evolved. And literally, you're taking out 4 total hits between those 3 rarity tiers. That's still pretty much the same size set. And then also, I read that there's a ton of trainer cards, which would be ultra rares, and yeah, ultra rares. So an abundance of ultra rares, extra ultra rares, are going to be in the set. Which, side note, there's abundance of extra EX cards in Obsidian Flames. That is the one thing that Obsidian Flames has a lot of, is EX cards. No one cares about EX cards. No one will ever care. I mean, maybe a full art EX, but even then, it better be like terrestrialized. Anyway, alright, so the only thing Obsidian Flames is good at is a bunch of worthless EX cards and a plethora of easy to pull Charizards. Okay. So all that means size matters. But have I really broken down why size matters? Okay. So, the reason size matters. The reason this guy right here is so expensive directly correlates to that 36. See that 36 there? So because there's 36 illustration rares in Paldea Evolved, and this one just happens to be the most desirable, that means your chances of pulling this card, you could literally sit down and open 2,000 to 3,000 packs and not pull this card. You could, theoretically, you could open 3,000, 4,000 packs. The point is, even though this is a 1 in 7, a 12%, every single time you finally get that hit, it can be, illustration rare, number 201. That's worth $3 over and over again. It could be a Tauros. You pulled Paldean Tauros. Good job. 10 packs later, you pulled Paldean Tauros. Good job. That like, and the only reason this card is so, it's been pumped twice now. This card has gone up, gone down. Now it's going back up even higher than before. So, and the reason that is because there are so many illustration rares in Paldea that it makes it a much more difficult card to pull, just straight up based on math, the way the booster boxes are filled, the way the ETBs, the way it's coming out of the factory. It is way harder to pull the specific card that you want when there is a ton of that card in that rarity tier. And that is a new development for Scarlet and Violet that matters a lot. Okay. Hyper rares. Let's go over those Obsidian Flame hyper rares again. Okay. So. Okay. My dog just went freaking crazy because my dog's best friend is outside the window. So yeah, I had to stop real quick. But yeah, oh, now I got a headset on, so I'm not getting distracted. Okay, so the Obsidian Flames hyper rares, we're gonna look at those real quick because like there's 3 of them. 3. Tell me why the hell. There are 3. 3. There's a windmill. There's a gold windmill. There's the basic fire energy, which duh, it has to be in the Charizard set. And then there's Charizard, duh. Okay, so there's 3 of them. So because there's 3, and the way Scarlet and Violet booster boxes and all sets are seeded, that means your chances of pulling Charizard are the exact same as the Artisan or the basic fire energy. So if there's 1 gold card essentially per booster box, and apparently you can get 2 per booster box, tell me that that gold hyper rare Charizard is going to be worth more than $30 6 months from now, and I'll tell you, you're crazy. So yeah, so as you can see, things like that. Now let's just say Obsidian Flames was a bigger set, even the size of Scarlet and Violet, because so far we've had essentially three different size sets in Scarlet and Violet. We've had small, medium, and large. Obsidian Flames is the first small set. Base set's the first medium set. Paldea and now Paradox Rift are going to be the first 2 large sets. So if Obsidian Flames was a large set and it had, say, 7 or 8 or 9 hyper rares in it, or 10 hyper rares, or 12 hyper rares, holy crap. See, if there was a gold hyper rare Charizard in a set where it had 12 hyper rares, that's a Charizard that's going to have serious long-term value. I'm just saying. Okay? So, size matters a lot. How many of each kind of hit per rarity tier absolutely matters a lot. And it's already panning out with things like Magikarp and a few other cards we're going to go over right now, actually. So, let's take a look. So, Tinkaton, here's a Full Art EX Ultra Rare. This is a card that is going for over $100 in a PSA 10. And notice that line graph. That line graph right there, that's a healthy looking line graph for a few months after release. Like a 6-month line graph, or maybe it's 5-month. That's good looking. Look at that. There's another good looking line graph. And yeah, that says $184 for the Raichu. And to be honest, I've seen some Raichus go for over $200. And again, 1 in 6 packs. Just as rare as all those trainer galleries from Sword and Shield. T-Tar. Oh man. So this T-Tar, it says $203.75 for the PSA 10. In all honesty though, there's been 3 sales of Tyranitar in the last 3 weeks for over $250. And that's not even the most expensive illustration rare in the set. $200 to $250 in a PSA 10. It's not even a secret illustration rare. It's not even a hyper rare. Doesn't even have texture on it. And then here's Iono. Here's the star of the show for Paldea. She is absolutely still holding strong around $100. And there's 2 reasons. One, yeah, she has a lot of playability. I know, okay? But it's also, again, because she's actually semi-difficult to pull. Because there is a ton of secret illustration rares in Paldea Evolved. Okay, and then here's that Magi. Look at that line graph. This thing went way up, went down a little, and it hasn't even been 6 months, and it's already going to the moon again. Okay, let's 400. Oh, I got it twice. $472 in a PSA 10. That is a serious amount of money. Now look down there. There's $585 on August 19th. There's $485 on August 21st, and then August 23rd, $460. That's a serious amount of money for a lower tier rarity card that doesn't even have texture on it, guys. Like that's kind of crazy. And in all of this, so everything we just talked about right now, from the way that the Scarlet and Violet sets are more or less constructed out of the factory, the long-term, like the health or longevity of each individual single, and whether it's going to retain any value in the future, is completely dependent on how difficult it is to obtain. And how difficult it is to obtain is completely dependent on how large or small the set size is. it really is easy mode for this era of Pokemon. It really is easy mode. And, you know, Pokemon doesn't care because they're going to make billions of dollars either way. And at the end of the day, their prime focus is the actual TCG and making sure the TCG survives and everything else falls in place. So as long as they do that, it doesn't matter if we absolutely know whether or not these cards are going to be any good from an investment standpoint on a set-to-set basis. All that matters is they keep selling stuff. But all of that is why Paradox Rift will destroy Obsidian Flames. So there you go, guys. Obsidian Flame sucks, and it only sucks because it's tiny. Paradox Rift is awesome, and as far as I know, the only reason it's awesome as of now anyway is because it's huge. And that's kind of like, I know this isn't rocket science, and maybe you know, maybe it's like, well, duh. But this wasn't the case. You couldn't use this basic logic in previous eras of Pokemon at all. Because even like the trainer galleries, like I said in Sword and Shield, they have their own sub-rarities within their own rarity tier. And yeah, and it's just, things are way more simple now. Simple and less rare, I guess. So, this is the reason right here. PoE, pack opening experience. I said that I wrote why there was holo rares in every single, I wrote the holo rare amount per set. So if you're like me, you collect. I'm someone who is an idiot, and now more than ever, it's more important to buy your booster boxes if you're trying to get stuff or whatever. Like with the Scarlet and Violet era, the absolute best way to get the most stuff, the most hits, is through booster boxes now. But me, I love promos, so I try to get a little bit of everything, and I try to get every single promo. So I end up opening a lot of packs from a lot of different like things, whether it be ETBs or like 3-pack blisters, single pack blisters, anything. I'm just always trying to buy. I'm trying to spread myself out. Like if all I was buying is booster boxes, or instead buying everything else, I'm choosing everything else just because it's funner that way, and I'm not a sealed investor anyway. So when you're opening a lot of packs, you run into scenarios where if you're opening a tiny set, like say Obsidian Flames, like that freaking set has 10 holos. There was this time where I was sitting there for like 10 minutes opening Obsidian Flames, and I swear to God, I pulled Palafin, Darkrai, Palafin. It got so irritating. I literally stopped and I looked up how many holos were in Obsidian Flames because I thought this is a joke, right? And then sure enough, there's 10. So just when it comes to like opening packs, you want to have fun, like even if you don't pull anything. And so for a set to only have 10 holo rares, it just feels lazy and boring. Like if you're going to open up 40, 50 packs, you're going to have a stack of the same card over and over and over again, like the Palafin stack I amassed in like 6 minutes. But yeah, but on a side note, the Scarlet and Violet reverse holos are like way cooler, like way better than Sword and Shield reverse holos. And you do get 2 a pack, which I thought that was going to be lame. But reverse holos aren't worth anything anyway, so the fact that they made them look more beautiful, and the fact that they give you 2 as like a consolation prize. Something I'm personally doing is, because I do open a lot of packs, but I also hate wasting money, is I'm trying to throw together complete reverse holo sets of every Scarlet and Violet era set. Because why not? They're beautiful. There's about 200 per set. Even on a set like Obsidian Flames, it still has a full amount of commons and uncommons. I think like, you know, over 180 or whatever, somewhere in there. So 180, 200. That's a lot of reverse holos. That's a 200 card binder to fill up, which I think to have 1 binder per set would be really cool, like a nice side goal. But anyway, so that's something I'm doing, and that's why I brought up pack opening experiences. I think Obsidian Flames is a terrible pack opening experience, whereas I think sets like Paldea are a much better pack opening experience. So that's why I included that reverse holo count in there as well. Alright guys, boss's orders. Pay attention to set size. Evaluate the set prior to release. Decide early on, before you already waste all your money, if you should spend a lot on that set or maybe save a little for the next set, especially if you're someone who isn't just a collector but a value collector who tries to target cards that have a chance of going up in value. well, then you're going to want to spend a lot more money on cards that are from bigger sets, because bigger sets will contain cards that are more difficult to acquire. Duh. And then last, follow me on IG at pokedan.tcg, and then like, comment, and least important, subscribe. Love you guys. Glad to be back. I hope you like my new setup, and we're going to be doing a lot of this and a lot of other various cameras that I've recently set up for my YouTube channel, from pack openings to presentation style. And yeah, I'm sure will at least once, I'm sure I'll dance in front of the camera again in the future, but we're gonna ease off of that a little. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I love you, and I can't wait for Paradox Rift, and I hope you're excited for it too. Deuces.